In the heart of this agricultural landscape, a lone sentinel stands, a crumbling relic of a war long past. This is a forgotten German tower, built during the chaos of World War II, now obsolete and abandoned. Once a symbol of vigilance and control, it now silently bears witness to time's relentless march. But what stories does it hold? Who stood here, watching, waiting? And how did it come to be left behind, a relic overshadowed by history? Join us as we explore the haunting echoes of this forgotten tower, a monument to a past that refuses to be forgotten. We are in Poperinge, a charming city in the West Flanders region of Belgium. It's a delightful blend of history, culture, and natural beauty. It is known for being the hops capital of Belgium. Beyond its brewing legacy and its major role in World War I, it is also an important place in the Second World War. It was a gathering point for many Belgian and British units who were forced to retreat alongside the French army during the Dunkirk evacuations. It was bombed several times in May 1940 and suffered greatly. It's on the outskirts of this city that the German High Command decided to build this tower. But not only a tower, but an entire airfield, a very large complex of buildings, workshops, shooting ranges, barracks, and even a water purification unit. More on that in a minute. The construction of this airfield, known as Vliegplaats Pezzelhoek, after the hamlet it was located in, began in August of 1940. Several large airfields were planned by the Luftwaffe. They wanted to have more fields and have them closer to Britain, who they were fighting fiercely in the skies above the Channel. The groundworks were finished by several German RAD units. That's the Reichsarbeitsdienst, a somewhat military organization that prepared young men for military service. The tower itself is 6 by 6 meters and 13 meters high. It had 4 wooden floors, a basement level, and was made entirely of locally made red brick. It used to have a searchlight on top of it, going up to 10 kilometers, which was built in the circle structure you see on the roof. The marks on the outside walls show us this building was originally not standing alone, as it is now. More structures were attached to it. There was a small generator room in the basement, and a radio operator had an office on one of the floors. It was used by the Belgian army in the 1950s and was abandoned when they no longer had any use for it. As you can see, it is being restored at the moment. The city has planned for it to become a scenic outview post. They have removed the rotten wooden floors and the post-war iron ladder and replaced it with a brand new stainless steel staircase. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I guess the visitor's safety comes first, but it's not pretty nor original. Anyway, I'll come back once it's finished to show you the results. A few hundred meters away from the tower, we can find 2 large aircraft hangars. One is almost gone, and one only has its walls left. They are typical in their shape, having a rounded roof, and are easily recognizable. As with many wartime buildings, the owners still use them or have incorporated them in a more modern building. Here we clearly see the rounded shape and the wartime heating unit building in front of it. On the other side of the road, where the actual original grass landing strip was, we can find the remains of small brickwork bunkers. They are located on the south side of the airfield and lay right next to a river. There are 2 left today, but there used to be more. They were all used for the storage of anti-aircraft cannons, most likely the 20mm Flak 30 models. A concrete road connected them. Some sources speak of 8 bunkers. I personally think there were less. Next to one of the bunkers, we can find a concrete shaft of about 3 by 3 meters, going down several meters. It has a ladder in it for easy access. This was the entrance to the water purification unit I spoke of earlier. Being next to the river, they had easy access to water. It's unclear when exactly this was built, but most likely at the end of 1940. Now, if we look closely, we can find even more clues to find this airfield. Many fields and pastures here have rounded brick walls as corners. Several small bridges can be found. These are all German. A concrete ringway is still present and in use today by the farmers. There are many water pits scattered across the old complex, also still in use. It's pretty safe exploring these ruins and remnants. Just keep your eyes open. Every year here in West Flanders, people die because of unexploded ordnance. This farmhouse was used as the headquarters of the complex and main billeting area in 1940. The brick buildings remain, the wooden barracks were taken down. It had a mess facility, garages, stores, a small infirmary, and some technical rooms. A concrete road connected it to the ring road around the field. The old radio workshop is still present and can be seen here with the red roof, standing alone in front and on the right of the farmhouse. It is now used as a storage shed. After having studied all these buildings in the airfield as a whole, it is clear this must have been quite the building project. So it might come as a surprise to you that the airfield was never used. In 1941, the landing strip was plowed over and used for agriculture. The buildings were still guarded, but no real work went on here. There was never any trace of hard stands or any other aircraft accommodations. The large hangars remained empty for most of the war. The locals who lived in the hamlet during the war counted about 5 aircraft in total. One of these was a Stuka in 1940, who had to make an emergency landing and ended up on its nose. When the liberators came in September 1944, the airfield had already been vacated by the Germans, so it was quickly checked. Nothing of great value was found. The Belgian army used it as an anti-aircraft training ground for a decade more, but then the location was abandoned and given back to nature. In a way, I'm kind of relieved this field never helped spread death and misery all over Europe. No aircraft ever left here on a mission to destroy anything. This impressive tower will, nonetheless, make sure none of us will ever forget. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe.